Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, May 5th, 2023. A little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, we're having a reverse aging health call tonight. Probably want to take some notes. One of the most powerful things we can do is master the art of forgiveness. If you are carrying, if any of us are carrying a grudge against somebody, various things, whether it's big or small, you're clinging to a heavy shield around your heart that's weighing you down and negatively impacting you. And it's impacting you on many levels. By continuing to be very angry or upset with somebody else because they have wronged you, only hurts you in the long run. Because here's the danger. And we've all been there. I don't think any of us are exempt from that. And when we go there, it's not like we're not focused on what we're doing, so to speak. And we're not looking at from the outside in. Okay, we're on the inside. We're in the box, right? So it takes us, it kind of sweeps us away. And the danger is the amount of low frequency we step into. That you cannot help it. You get irritated, angry with someone, someone's wronged you, whatever, and it's a toughie because it takes you in deep in the lower frequencies. But you're not really thinking about low frequencies at that point because you're so upset. And if someone said to you, "You got to stay in high frequencies," you'd probably slap them. Okay. But this is crucial because all these aspects that we all face, that we pretty much manifest for ourselves in this life, it's every facet and angle that we're all acclimated to. Whereas we have this world that we've created, that we live in. And many of us don't even know we're manifesting the lives that we're living or anything that happens with us. But how do you begin? You begin by understanding that everything is a frequency. Everything. Now, frequency, vibrational frequency, is pure energy. It's energy in different forms. It's just like tachyon particles are pure energy, but that pure energy takes on the form of tachyon particles. It's the same with ion particles. It's the same with plasma. See, and everything is plasma energy. But drawn out on a chart, you would see the harmony and the disharmony. Okay? When you look at these different frequencies and you see disharmony and trauma, the low frequencies, because of your experiences, okay? For you, it could be anything. It could be from past lives that you don't even know, because we don't really have readily available past life memory yet. But you carry it, nonetheless. And when you're done wrong, I think we've all been done wrong in different ways at times, and some of them were very detrimental to us because of the anger, frustration, hurt, and pain. But then we fall right down the hole. So how do you change it? How do you shift it? You really do. It's part of the mastering of these avenues while we're in these physical bodies. But you really do look at it first. You say, okay, I'm not going to fly off the handle. I'm going to look at this and to see why this has happened. And honestly, you created it, but you don't know you created it. Circumstance, situation, whatever. You made certain decisions, and then boom, there it is. And if you had been in negative frequencies before, similar things have happened. And it's just us being aware. It's our awareness. And we know, see, because we've been there more than once. And we know what it does to us. This isn't our first rodeo. And so we choose. I'm not going down there. No. Because the process of this is that those that do unto you, that do things to you, that aren't really nice or fun or respectful, they're doing to themselves. And that's not just a cliche or a statement. That's fact. So whatever we do to each other, like if you wrong somebody, it's going to come back at you, some way, shape, or form, and you're not going to know when. And this isn't wishing any harm to anybody, because again, that's another low frequency. But we can shift it so quickly that you can go from doomy and gloomy to happy and light within a matter of seconds by where you're coming from, the heart mind, and deep gratitude, and gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. You'll switch it. You'll know. I don't care to stay there. I'm going to increase my frequency. And you're going to look at things that you're deeply grateful for. After a while, at first, it's not a cinch for any of us. Anybody that tells you it's a cinch is fibbing. Because in the beginning, it's tough because we're so habitualized in certain ways in this life that we all are stubborn. All of us are stubborn in different ways. Some maybe more than others. When you think you've met the most stubborn person, which is usually you, right? And then you come across someone that's even more stubborn than you are. And where does that stubborn come from? It comes from our ego minds. Okay? We want to be right? We want to prove that we're right, period. And that's why we're so driven to be right. It's the ego mind. So we're in this, we have this awesome power which is known as forgiveness. So you forgive and it dissipates. It's not there front and center anymore. If we don't learn how to forgive and let go of the pain that's been done, it doesn't allow us to be fully open, available, alive, and present to this divine moment. Our being becomes tight, protected, and contracted when we cannot forgive people. So our being becomes tight, protected, contracted when we cannot forgive people. You ever done that? Have you ever gotten maybe a friend, acquaintance, whatever? Could be a brother, sister, mom, dad, whoever. That something happened where you just were not going to forgive that person. You weren't going to do it. No matter how long you lived or anything. You just shut it off because it was so devastating for you. And it hurt you so much that you just said, not again. Not ever going to happen again. So what happens is the quicker we can learn to let go, the less time we spend in pain and suffering. We carry things with us And I don't really believe that we really consciously know it. But we do. We carry things with us. And they keep us low. Doesn't mean we know we're in that lower field, but they keep us low. And we're more quick to anger. We're much slower in forgiveness. Holding on to a grudge from the past with anyone only hinders our ability to become a positive, open, loving being who is manifesting the life of our dreams. Now, the word forgiveness is derived from the word to give, right? Derived from the word to give. Forgiveness is a gift of freedom and healing. When we give it to another person, you actually are giving yourself. And think about that for a moment as I change phones. So the word forgiveness is derived from the word to give. And forgiveness is a gift of freedom and healing. When you give it to another person, you actually are giving this to yourself. The act of forgiving another may not free the other person if they do not accept it, yet it will definitely liberate your energy. Even if the other person holds on to the past grudge all the way to their grave, you can still forgive them for not knowing how. Your job is simply to let the past go and trust that everything is always perfect. It's always in perfect divine order. This universe never makes mistake, ever. Every act of harm unleashed is pure stimulation for our soul's awakening. Every act of harm unleashed is pure stimulation for our soul's awakening. The pain makes us wake up, recalibrate our life, and adjust our sails towards a bigger freedom. The judgments we tend to inflict upon ourselves force us to love ourselves even deeper. The wound inside us creates a womb where a new life can be formed. We must choose then to give birth to something inside us that is more loving, more healing, and more creative. We must choose to also forgive ourselves for anything that is less than love. When we do forgive ourselves, we instantly feel a great lightness that opens our chest and spreads all throughout our body. It is a powerful path to healing that is always available to choose in every moment of our lives. Every day, we have the option to let go of our pride and let in the love, or hold on tighter and be right about something unfair or wrong. If you want to become a more sensitive, humble, and deeply loving human being, you must choose to learn the response of forgiveness and compassion. Softening our ego is perhaps the most empowering and enlightening action we can do, as it puts us directly in contact with our soul. If or when we are ready to experience the amazing power of forgiveness, recognize your attachment to your story. When you hold on to a grudge, you are actually holding on to the story about what happened along with heavy feelings attached to your story. When you fully feel those heavy feelings that arise when you think about your story, you then can move through them and underneath them. Be curious about what is there underneath your feelings, as it will be something you never thought of before. Notice how you played your part in the drama and take responsibility for the role you stepped into. When you understand that the payoff of benefit you received by playing this role, no matter how horrible it was, you can then let go of the pattern completely. Most of us, a lot of us, we have what they call repressed feelings. And it's learning to release those repressed feelings. When someone mistreats or hurts us, we may either express this pain or repeat or repress it. In other words, we keep it. And if you were taught to repress your feelings, put on a brave face, go on with your life, you will have many heavy feelings inside you rotting away at your core. All repressed feelings fester deep inside of us and cause us to continue to carry a burden about this life, relationships, people, and the world. The first step in forgiving is letting go of these heavy feelings, allowing them to turn into lighter feelings. There are many techniques that can help us release pent-up emotions from the past. One simple way you can do this on your own is emotional release journaling. Just write about the past event without censoring it. Write from your most emotional place. Keep writing until you have emptied everything out. Do not read it. Don't read it, right? Once you have finished, wait a few days or weeks before you read it. So in other words, when you're done, you just get it. You can get a notebook just for that. Just write it in there, take a notebook, put it in a drawer. Wait for a couple weeks before you read it. You can burn what you have journaled and proclaim out loud, I let this go. If your repressed emotions are very strong or feel overwhelming, it may be best to get the support of a trained professional to help you let them go. And continuously choose forgiveness. In every moment, you have the opportunity to choose forgiveness. It's a choice for any of us. Once you release that holding on to the past only harms you, you can consciously choose to let it go instead of returning to resentment. Choosing forgiveness is a constant process. This means you will always choose to feel feelings of tightness or lightness, freedom, and healing from the past event. Once you have decided to forgive someone, visualize the person in front of you and say it out loud to them. I forgive you completely for what happened. I love you and thank you for the lesson. Please forgive me for what I've done. Notice how it feels just listening to this proclamation in your body. By stating this message out loud, you create an instant energetic shift of your body. The person can be on the phone, in the room, or simply there in your mind. If you do this in your mind, the secret is that it must feel real to you. You will be amazed of how this declaration starts opening up your entire world in ways you've never dreamed were possible. You'll soon see how it sparks the manifestation of more positive and desired experiences in your life. One of the greatest deep, eternal loving to humanity is your sensitivity, your consciousness. Also, deeper inside you, very close to your heart center, exists the divine state of compassion. It is a lightness that instantly destroys all judgment, criticism, and heaviness the moment it is exposed. This all-forgiving, deeply understanding, accepting nature is always here now and available in you. Nothing can take it away, change it, or destroy its source. It is your essential nature that is with you everywhere you go and makes everything in your life flow with grace and effortless ease. Discovering the unlimited source of compassion inside you comes from realizing the spiritual truth of who you are. By knowing that you are an infinite eternal soul connected to limitless love, intelligence, and creativity, you immediately relax and enter this divine state. Abiding in this awakening knowledge is the only way to effectively handle the outrageous pain we all experience in this life. When you truly know this amazing divinity is what you are, your consciousness skyrockets. You stop creating situations that would have caused you more pain. When you understand that who you are is beyond this world of form and formless, beyond time and timelessness, you transcend the evolutions of the mind and can rest as the source of grace itself. There are as many ways to access this spiritual truth inside you as there are stars in the sky. The moment you find your mind becoming judgmental, critical, or upset about anything is the best moment to practice accessing deeper compassion. The secret here is to take a deep breath, relax deeper into your body, and notice what the mind is overly attached to. Simply watch, breathe, wait. Notice how these illusionary ideas, desires, and judgments are purely hypothetical, mental drama. You can see how they are part of the game of your spiritual awakening and accept them without reacting to them. Every negative experience you have is simply there to lead you deeper into the ultimate compassionate state, where your mind, heart, and body are completely aligned and healed. By understanding there is a divine intelligence behind every experience, the negative feelings you are battling will simply lose their power. Any judgments you have about these negative experiences only inflame and deepen the source of pain and negate the fact that an all-loving divine intelligence is present. The secret here is to know everything has a divine purpose and deeper meaning if you are only willing to let it in. Whenever negativity arises inside you, the key to transcending them is looking towards the source of where these thoughts are coming from. All your old repetitive contracted thoughts were handed down to you from your parents and their parents and their parents. They are not your thoughts, and they actually don't belong to anyone, so nobody is to blame. When you refrain from over-identifying with your heaviest thoughts, they no longer have power over you, and you liberate yourself from them. Perhaps the greatest practical secret to unveiling this unlimited source of compassion inside you is a faithful practice in fully accepting yourself exactly as you are. Compassion naturally arises when you have full acceptance of everything inside you and are remaining curious with those parts you just cannot accept. It's just good to know that every aspect of you is acceptable, worthy of being. What it is, worthy of being, what it is, and even lovable. It really just depends on what perspective you are looking at it from as to how you are seeing it. Even those revengeful, hateful, mean parts deserve love when you look at the painful wounds they're born from. Having total self-acceptance is what lays the foundation to opening up your feelings so that you can be sensitive enough to find the infinite wellspring of compassion inside you. The most powerful experience of your life begins with your commitment to accept yourself just as you are and to remain in a state of curiosity about all the parts you cannot accept. Your wounded and angry parts are there for a reason, and to reject them is to reject yourself. Your wounded and angry parts are there for a reason, and to reject them is to reject yourself. As you journey inwards, practicing self-acceptance, you will find these things, which you honestly believe that nobody can accept or tolerate. This is the moment to raise the white flag of surrender, because these parts, too, need love. Everything comes from the divine, all-intelligent spiritual source, especially those things we believe are very far removed from it. With a persistent curiosity and infinite patience, you will eventually find acceptance inside yourself. This is the gateway to accessing the state of unlimited compassion with everyone in this world. It takes great courage to choose to accept whatever you discover inside you, yet the real work is simply being with the unacceptable feeling in its raw form. No matter what the feeling is, try to give it 100% permission to exist exactly as it is, so you can feel and thus know it intimately. The mind is going to try to change or avoid those critical parts inside you, deem as unacceptable, and never actually feel them. However, even though this is a great strategy, this is not love. It is only through feeling the wound and having total acceptance of it that you will find the grace of profound healing naturally takes place. Be aware that the mind is very cunning and that it can say it is choosing to accept something that is unacceptable. Yet truthfully, you are still resisting and rejecting it. Acceptance is not something you can force. It naturally arises on its own when the unacceptable feeling has been fully felt and emotionally processed. This is why curiosity is needed. With enough patience and curiosity, in time, we will eventually find peace with every part inside us. And when we live from this place of childlike curiosity with ourselves, we will naturally be compassionate without even trying. And everything will flow through our lives with joy and ease. You discover your ultimate state of compassion now. First, take responsibility for any limiting roles you've been playing in your life. If you were an actor or actress on the stage of your life, what has your character been challenged by? What types of difficult conversations, feelings, and circumstances did you choose to play out with others? What if transcending this pattern was your life's mission? What if your every response you had from here on out was a compassionate response, no matter what occurred? When your awareness reaches beyond the roles you've been trapped in, then you can transcend them and make your entire life a divinely playful play. The game, this life, is one of many great illusions where we've each signed up, so to speak, to act out a variety of roles on stage. These roles are not who you really are. They are simply unconscious roles you are still acting out. When you are fully conscious of the roles you're playing and realize that you can play any role at any time, then you have mastered the entire play. However, in order to pass the final exam in this great theatrical school of mirrors, you must choose to know how to play the opposite role that you've been so used to playing. You must choose to master both sides so you can drop all the roles. From this state, you transcend duality and are free from any heavy or light role your ego was habitually caught in. If you find yourself playing the victim game and you're constantly caught in the role of blaming yourself, the other, and then needing to be forgiven, you are simply not playing the empowered, compassionate role. You may then need to retake the test several times. If you wish to ascend to the higher levels of education and truly get it right, it's a very challenging exam, because when the ego is in charge, the opposite role can seem very wrong. You may even threaten your survival in this world. And the consequences appear very real. Yet the truth is that all suffering is purely an illusion created by the mind, and when you release your attachment to playing any particular role, then you are free. When you realize you are the actor, the writer of the play, the audience, and the backstage technicians, you have mastered the play of life. When you understand that you are both pure consciousness and limited ego mind, you've passed the test and will soon discover the absolute source of compassion within. This learning always allows you to deeply enjoy every living experience of this life. You know that divine reality is here now, yet you cannot always see it because it's much, much, much deeper than any single belief or thought. You cannot find reality with the mind. You must surrender to a state of mindlessness. In other words, you step outside the mind. You leave it alone. You leave it alone by going into the now. How do you have full compassion in your life? One big step to take this week is to have compassion for your life with all its karma and issues that you've had to face. These tough experiences may not seem like the perfect life you asked for, yet each situation is created for your soul's greatest awakening. All the lessons you will receive in this lifetime, you have most likely already forgotten that you asked for them. That is why they are coming your way. Everything is predestined in this life. By realizing this, we all merge with its flow, understanding what we are to learn from it, and can have compassion for any situation we find ourselves in. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Finding inner peace, being alone, is the gateway to freedom and is the foundation of every spiritual awakening. So I invite you to take this weekend to be completely alone and relaxed. Find a very quiet, peaceful place where you can simply be yourself. Discover a deeper state of peace inside. Eat healthy foods. Take a nap. Meditate. Go for a long walk every day. Learn the sacred art of relaxation. Rest in your innermost being and enjoy the experience. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We'll return here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Reverse Aging Health Call, and Saturday, May 6th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation Call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what is going on around you.